Okay, so tonight we got the standard two games. Love the second round. Makes it much easier to preview all this stuff. Nashville, Winnipeg. We'll do this one first, even though in terms of what time they're on, this is game two. Forsberg leads the way in scoring for Nashville, 5 goals, 6 assists. Johansson's next at 4 goals, 5 assists. Ekholm with a goal and 7 assists. Watson with 5 goals and 3 assists. Austin Watson, big playoffs for him, and we'll see if this leads into a good regular season for him next year, or is this just going to raise the bar too high? That's the question. Sissons, 3 goals and 4 assists. Subban, 2 goals and 5 assists for them. Shots on goal, Forsberg leads the way with 43. Yossi with 34 and Arvidsson with 31. Hits, Watson leads the way there with 26, followed by Fisher with 24 and Sissons with 22. Ice time, Subban with a 26-minute and 52-second average, followed by Yossi with a 25-minute, 54-second average, and then Ellis 25 minutes and 30 seconds. The big story for Nashville is Pekka Rinne, 3.08 goals against and a 901 save percentage. You look at his statistics against Winnipeg this year, including regular season, they're pretty pedestrian. Winnipeg clearly does not have a problem beating Pekka Rinne, and if Nashville's going to come back and win this series, they have to fix that problem. The question then got asked. I watched Tim and Sid yesterday where they were talking about it, and the question was asked by Sid Sixero: at what point do they pull Rinne? Do they pull Rinne after, say, if Winnipeg builds a 2-0 lead in the first this game? My answer to that is probably not. Rinne brought them here. I think it would take more than just a couple of goals to get Rinne out. Do I think that's right? Probably not, because again, you can't afford to lose a game on the road after you've already lost one. If Nashville goes down 3 games to 1, then this series will likely be over in, I'll say 6. I'll say Nashville would win their game at home, and then Winnipeg would be their downfall in Game 6. On the Winnipeg side of things, Scheifele with 8 goals and 4 assists leads the way for Winnipeg. He's having a fantastic playoff. Bufflin and Wheeler are tied with 3 goals and 7 assists for those Jets. Stastny, 3 goals and 6 assists, and then Patrick Laine with 2 goals and 5 assists. Shots on goal, Laine, 32, Bufflin, 27, Trouba, 24, Wheeler, 23. Hits, Bufflin leads the way there with 35, followed by Sherratt with 30, and then Brandon Tanev, and you talk about hard workers that are really showing how valuable they are in the playoffs. Tanev's the guy. He's got 24 hits. Ice time, Bufflin, 26 minutes and 48 seconds, leads the way for Winnipeg, followed by Trouba at 22 minutes and 57 seconds. Josh Morrissey with 21 minutes and 36 seconds, followed by Scheifele at 21 minutes 33 seconds. So very close there. Hellebuck has been a story in this series, 2.36 goals against average and a 920 save percentage. And really that's the story here, isn't it? Is the goaltending. That Hellebuck and Rinne, it has been a very good showing for Hellebuck, and Rinne's look pretty human. And that's going to happen. And the funny thing is, the other thing they pointed out on Tim and Sid, and I know people have pointed this out to me before, he had a really good run last year with Nashville, but outside of that one playoff, Rinne's playoff numbers have been average or below average. And I know going into last year's playoffs, when I said I really, I liked Nashville, it was pointed out, or especially when I said I liked Rinne, that was pointed out to me. And we can look back now and say, oh, well, clearly that was wrong. Look at the run Rinne went on. But there was no hint during the rest of his career that run was coming. So Nashville does definitely have an issue right now. They have to shore things up in front of Rinne, block as many shots as possible from Winnipeg, get his confidence up, or Winnipeg could run up the score today. They had a 3-0 lead in Game 3, and they blew it. Washington's in Pittsburgh, which is a game that I can't stress the importance of this one enough. The Washington Capitals are up against 30-plus years of history. They are up against 30-plus years of history as a team that is really good going into the playoffs and can't do much in them. And definitely it's something that I will explore in a video on its own once their playoff run this year is done, because I don't feel like doing another video on their playoff failures while they're in the midst of a playoff run. That's not respectful. I ain't going to do that. Ovechkin leads the way in their scoring category with 8 goals and 5 assists. Backstrom has 3 goals and 9 assists. Carlson, 2 goals and 8 assists. Kuznetsov, 4 goals and 5 assists. Wilson, who's not playing for the next 3 games, 2 goals and 5 assists for the Washington Capitals. And losing Wilson is going to be big for them. Shots on goal, Ovechkin 42, Kuznetsov 36, Carlson 30. But then you look at the hits category, Wilson's got 41. And of course, people are going to say, well, how many of those are clean? How many of them are dirty? Fine. That's fine. I do think that they're going to move the goalposts in the offseason. What is or isn't a clean hit is going to get revisited, and they're going to do more about headshots. This isn't about hitting. This is about headshots. This is just about the fact that if you're checking a guy and you drill him in the head, even if it's not the primary point of contact, I really think the NHL is going to crack down on that. And I know not everybody's going to agree on it, but I really think this is where they're headed. Orpik is second in hits. He's going to have to hit a little more tonight. He's got 29. And then Devontae Smith-Pelly has 28. So I guess Devontae Smith-Pelly could take the place of Tom Wilson as the team hitter up front. But the nice thing with Devontae Smith-Pelly is, and refresh me my memory if it's wrong, I can't remember him being singled out for a nasty hit or controversial play. The one problem is Wilson also has offensive upside. Devontae Smith-Pelly doesn't have as much offensive upside as Tom Wilson. Ice time, Niskanen leads the way. No, he doesn't. Carlson leads the way with 27 minutes and 18 seconds, followed by Niskanen with 27 minutes and 5 seconds, and then Orlov with 26 minutes and 1 second. And where this is kind of fun is these numbers are dropping because there hasn't been overtime. So as long as there's no overtime, these numbers will keep dropping. But people talk to me about the average ice time and how it's skewed in favor of certain teams because they've played more overtime games. Well, yes, because it shows mileage. It shows which teams are probably the most tired and which players are probably the most tired. Who's playing the most hockey. So that's why I leave it as it is. Holtby, 2.08 goals against average and a .925 save percentage. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Of the 4 goalies who are playing tonight, Braden Holtby has the best save percentage. These are strange days indeed. On the Pittsburgh side of things, Jake Gensel leads the way with 8 goals and 11 assists because Jake Gensel loves the playoffs. Crosby's next with 8 goals and 9 assists. Hornqvist, 4 goals and 5 assists. Letang, 2 goals and 7 assists. Malkin, 3 goals and 3 assists, but he's only played 6 games. Shots on goal, Crosby leads the way with 25, then Gensel with 23, Hornqvist 21, and Schultz with 20. Hits, Kuhnhackl, 29, Alexiak 26, Hornqvist 21, and Gensel with 20. So Jake Gensel's having one of those all-around playoffs. Ice time, Letang leads the way with 25 minutes and 12 seconds, followed by Schultz with 22 minutes and 6 seconds, and Dumoulin 20 minutes and 53 seconds, and Murray 2.48 goals against average and a .906 save percentage. And it's funny because, Matt Murray in the first round had a couple of shutouts, and, a lot of people are like, hey, look at his numbers. Stop talking about Jonathan Quick. Look at Matt Murray. I haven't heard that the last couple of games because Washington has been looking at Matt Murray, and they've apparently found a few holes to get through. Now, Murray is capable of bouncing back. And in his favor is the fact that coming off of a loss, Matt Murray's record's pretty good. Murray's record's pretty good because Pittsburgh's fantastic after a loss. They're fantastic at refocusing. This game is huge for Washington. They may downplay it. They may say it's just another game. We're treating it like it's another game. We're not gonna treat it any differently. We're not nervous. They will be nervous. This game is huge for them. The difference really in net in this series is also a difference of defense. I think Washington's defense has been the more solid, and yet we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. The nice thing is there's a 2-hour difference between the start times, so yeah, I will get to pay more attention to Washington and Pittsburgh tonight than I did in Game 3. So I will be very interested to see how Washington's game is affected by losing Tom Wilson. And again, it's not as much, for me, the physical side of things. The other guys can step into that. Anybody who thinks there's any intimidation when you're dishing out dirty hits, it's not intimidation. You're just firing the other team up. And I can name any number of times, whether it was Rafi Torres for the Canucks against Chicago, Aaron Rome for the Canucks against Boston. Anytime that I see a hit that's dirty that leads to a suspension, I'm very concerned that the team that received said dirty hit will be causing all kinds of problems the next game and fired up. This could absolutely fire up the Penguins, because we've seen this before. And we'll see how Pittsburgh responds to this tonight, because as much as people may hey, it's a clean hit, or oh, it's this, or it's that, that hit absolutely can fire up the Penguins. They've had a couple of days to get angry about what happened to Zach Aston Reese, and for it to sink in what happened to their player. And this could be this really could be a turning point, because I've seen it before. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way around the internet. You just happened upon this video. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all of your subscriptions, your shares, your likes, and all of this that's got the channel over 37,000 subscribers. I can barely say it. And all of your support is appreciated. I'll talk to you guys again soon.